and welcome to the Gotham Outsiders, another special episode. Realizing we should have been more clear when manifesting a gay Superboy for Tim, it's your host, Chris and TJ!
Oh, it's that monkey paw.
It is. We got what we asked for, but not what we wanted. And we put the rainbow flag symbol back in the air to reassemble our own JLQ, author of Galaxy, the Prettiest Star, Jadzia Axelrod.
Hello. Did you know that Galaxy, the Prettiest Star is available for pre-order now?
Did. And you should all know too.
Go pre-order it.
That intro had me cracking up. I didn't want to laugh and ruin.
I love that you laughed. It brings me joy.
It's funny because it's true.
It is like all sad comedy. And DC Comics columnist, trivia lord, and our own Ask Alex Jaffe.
Hey, I'm here celebrating the fact that an asexual character got one line in a comic.
And it was about being surprised to be included. How accurate.
You know what? I felt seen in that moment. I felt very seen.
I thought of you when that moment happened.
So what are we talking about today, TJ?
Well, Alex, I think you had something you wanted to say to Jadzia.
Yeah, I do. Jadzia, I'm here to eat crow. You are absolutely right. I was expecting all of this to lead up to a moment that, as of the end of the year, still not really happened. And I just wanted to say I'm sorry I doubted you.
Thank you.
All sad.
It gives me no joy.
Yeah.
I really wanted to be wrong in this instance.
I wanted
really
to be
wanted
wrong
to be
too.
wrong.
I wanted us to be here right now so we could all laugh at you. But instead, you have the right to laugh at all of us.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I stand by what we said last time, in that I think we're gonna get there. I don't think we can take this away completely from the fan, as in Tim Drake being queer. But
That's
the
nice,
the journey's being a bit slower than I thought we thought it was going to be. We knew it was going to be a slow burn, but we didn't know how slow.
There's no kiss,
or who would be
no
burned.
reclamation of identity.
Yeah.
It feels almost like it's intentionally subdued to stay out of Superman's way. That there can only be one person in the spotlight at once.
Right.
I mean, that feels a little. I honestly don't know how much inter-book planning goes on.
Yeah.
That's very high-minded of you to say that. But I think they're all kind of separate with their ideas. But
That's
I think
true to an extent.
Yeah. So it could be. I mean, I certainly don't know how separate they are. I will say, to no prize it somewhat, if anyone was going to have this deep personal revelation about themselves and then immediately say, I can't think about this now, I have to care for someone else, it would be Tim.
That is true.
So to credit where it's due, having Tim immediately focus on
very in character.
Do you think Batman's doing okay? You guys think Batman's doing okay?
How's Batman?
Don't talk about me. Let's talk about Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
want
thing.
to be Robin, but I'll dedicate my whole life to being Robin because someone needs it.
That's the thing about this story is it's a terrific Tim Drake story.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not the story I wanted to be talking about right now.
Right.
No.
Right.
But in a year that wasn't this year, this would have been an amazing story. But now we have John Kent and Wayne Family Adventures, and I'm like, fuck this story.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
It feels very filler. It feels like they're killing time.
Yeah.
And they're
For what?
and then
That's the thing I don't understand.
To quote Jadzia's catchphrase back at her, this is a year that starts with a 2.
it's a year that starts with a 2.
It is. It is.
This could be I do like that he's at least says that he's dating Bernard.
Yeah, that's nice.
I did write it down and highlight it because it's all we got.
and Batman, for the first time in his whole life, goes, "What about Stephanie?"
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember
the biggest twist
for
of
the
all.
first time ever.
He's
Unexpected.
like, I believe I had another child at one
Yeah.
point. What was her name? The blonde one.
Yeah.
The blonde one.
Yeah, I think Jadzia, you were onto something with lowering expectations, and we
didn't.
should have listened.
It was
I
a
think the
mistake.
entire fandom was disappointed when this came out, and not saying that it's a bad story, because I think it did what it wanted to do very well in terms of
It did
mental
what
health.
it wanted to do, not what we wanted it to do.
Exactly.
This is I really want to know how far in advance these are written, because this feels like it was written before everyone freaked the fuck out about Tim Drake being queer, and they were like, well, shit. This is the story we have.
It did feel like it kind of snuck up on them.
Yeah.
Usually this kind of thing is written about 6 to 8 months in advance.
And so it would have been before.
It would have been before, definitely before the flip out. So this could be, again, them hedging their bets and being like,
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah,
I mean, just in case the reaction was negative, that they could sweep it under the rug just a little bit more. But
like under the bus, they swept it under the bus. That's actually
haven't swept it under the bus yet.
Yeah, like I don't think it's something they can take away from
No.
us, but it is something with this story they could just be like, next Tim Drake story, we're just not going to talk about it at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping next one's going to be, I mean, everyone wants a Tim Bernard exploration, you know, haven't got that yet, but I really think they're going to do like a Stephanie conversation.
Yeah.
That could be really cute.
Which I need too.
Everyone wants
But
that.
give me both.
I really want something that gets more into Tim's inner life as far as this identity changing realization is. And that's something that's really struck me about this story so far, is that this is really a momentous thing, right? We all remember when it was like, oh, wait a second, everything makes sense now in a way it didn't before.
The light bulb moment.
The light bulb moment. And I feel like we are not in his head for this. Like we're in his head, he's narrating, but it's not an emotional narration about what we care about, which is like queer discovery.
Right.
It's about, you know, the failed architecture of Bloodhaven, which is worth commenting upon, but like you only have so many pages and it's just interesting what's focused on and what isn't.
One thing I've been thinking about, the idea of like presenting this queer narrative with the fear that it might be taken away, is the status of Jason Todd after Under the Hood. During those intervening years where he was kind of weaving his way back into Gotham City, there was this very real queer coding to the character that Judd Winnick in particular was kept writing into. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
There's just like overt flirting with other characters throughout those stories, and the moment Jason got his own book in 2011, that all completely evaporated.
I don't agree. His stuff with Roy Harper was so queer coded. He called him his boyfriend jokingly like multiple times.
It was queer coded in like the way Chuck Dixon unintentionally queer codes things.
I mean,
I don't think it's unintentional.
All of that. Year starts with the 2. We're past coding.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like,
I'm just saying it is possible to present this idea dipping a toe in the pool and then yanking it back.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of what I was right. I don't think that's going to happen here.
I hope not.
It could. It would. I just think that we're in a culture that would recognize that as much more of a mistake than it would have a few years ago.
It's weird to read this story in the wake of all the stuff around Superman kissing his boyfriend.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Which happened just instantly.
Yeah, and like we're here with this Tim Drake story, and like, when are they going to touch like hands? And then there was this huge pin-up of them, you know, sticking their tongue down each other's throats. And it's like, I like.
Okay, do you think they have kissed yet? Because they've been dating a month in canon.
It'd be hilarious if they haven't, because it just it's so
stupid. I think that's the problem with this story is we don't know. Like we don't know anything about. They may not have even gone on a date yet. Like. Who's better at canceling plans than Tim Drake?
Oh God, that's true. He did talk about being hard to date in this one.
Right.
He means like really hard. Like you can't catch me.
Yeah. Like it would not surprise me if they hadn't gone on an actual date yet and just called what they're doing dating. Not uncommon in queer circles, certainly.
True.
But we don't know. We don't have any textual evidence of like, have they gone on a date? Have they kissed? Have they touched hands.
We were joking earlier, I think off record, about like what would be the line, what would be enough. Do we need to see like Tim Drake overtly engaged in sexual intercourse? But like that seemed ridiculous.
Yes.
But I'm
Until
thinking
now.
about it, and like we have seen Tim have sex with like actual women multiple times on panel. Like it's not that crazy. Like we went through it with Ravager and with Wonder Girl. Like, is it that ridiculous? Is it, or is it just like we're so not used to seeing it in this way?
I mean, I don't think it's ridiculous.
It's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
It's not ridiculous. And I feel like we wouldn't need it if they talked about what was happening on page.
Yeah.
Ever. But that's the thing. We come in at the end of every scene where a conversation about Bernard has just happened. And it's so annoying. Like, I love that we got him coming out to Bruce, but we didn't actually get it. We just got, I have come out to Bruce, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Why
We
didn't
missed
we
the whole
see that?
conversation.
That was, we
Yeah.
had to see this like random whole panel about them doing close-ups of the nativity scene for no reason, but we couldn't get the coming out.
Okay.
It's like,
Okay.
imagine Batman showing up against the Riddler, and then it cuts to the Riddler just being caught.
Right.
You don't get to see the fight.
TJ,
What did you guys think of the nativity scene?
I don't
Because
understand.
reading it, okay, Megan, super nice person, and I think everyone knows her religious beliefs. She talks about it very openly on
Yeah.
Twitter. She mentioned it in our interview with her.
Uh-huh.
In this story, the moment where Batman hands Robin the baby Jesus, I was like, what is this trying to convey? Because to me, I feel like it's going for like a subtextual conservative religious parent accepting their queer child, but it just felt really out of left field.
Well, that feels true.
You
especially
asked the
'cause-
Jew.
You know? No, but like, okay, I was raised with all that stuff. I still don't know what it means.
Just didn't seem like it should have been there. It seemed kind of out of place. And then at the very end, we have Batman saying "Merry Christmas, Robin," and Robin says "Happy holidays." Yeah.
It was the
It's like-
most okay boomer answer that Tim has ever given.
It was
Bruce
at that
Wayne.
part at the very end where I was like, what is this trying to say to me or other readers? Like, what was the point of this?
Full confession, I didn't read this until today because the whole Twitter response made me go, I don't want to read this before I have to. But I had TJ tell me everything that happened before I read it. And he described that scene of the nativity. And I was like, he's exaggerating. That's so silly. And then I read it and I was like, what the fuck is this scene?
I'm like,
What
I
it's
feel like
implying is that
Exactly.
Tim Drake is going to die for your sins.
Right.
He always has. In Tim Drake, we trust.
yeah, it just seemed really
Once again,
weird.
stealing Superman's spotlight.
I'm just saying, like, I'm really starting my cult of Tim Drake that I've been joking about for a while now.
Yeah, you should.
I will. It's my new religion. Happy queermas.
And I think
Happy holidays.
we were mentioning
Boomer.
earlier the Nightwing scenes in this issue. Like, I love seeing them interact, but Tim is a regular character over in the Nightwing title right now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm getting the vibe that Megan really wanted to write this relationship. But the relationship we really want to read is this coming out scene with Bruce or a date
Mhm.
with Bernard. And
Right.
it's like, why is this scene here? Like,
It's also-
why?
It's really funny because he is a regular over in Nightwing. So why the hell is Nightwing so confused that he's there? Like, I was
Right.
just there in your last issue. What do you mean?
Oh my gosh. Okay, if Tom Taylor does not have Tim say anything about queerness within the next year in the Nightwing title, then I'm convinced DC is like gatekeeping.
Yeah, because Tom
queerness.
Taylor loves making people queer. We know this.
Right. Just gave Wonder
Superman.
Woman a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, he's doing a great job. So
Yeah.
if we get nothing from him and Tim just keeps appearing and there's nothing,
Hmm.
I really hope that doesn't happen.
I know. Yeah, because so this story felt like a very important Tim Drake story conclusion to a story we hadn't read yet.
Yeah.
Because it was like
Yeah.
a really interesting, like, yeah, he does need to think about his mental health. Yeah, he does prioritize Bruce over him. It's great that Nightwing finally said that, you know, but where the hell was the lead up to that? Because this is out of nowhere. I mean, I get that it's
Mhm.
main story continuity, but this story isn't main story continuity. So it's weird to be responding to it in this way.
And it's weird to follow this up after the last chapter, which seemed to be a lot about Tim being like, I'm coming into my own as my own identity. Like, he doesn't
Mhm.
need his older brother to tell him that he needs to do that. He
Yeah.
already came into that on his own previously.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, and it's been a month, and like, is he backsliding? It's like, never mind. I don't need to do that.
And I feel like the ending of the last issue was kind of like a promise to the readers of, you'll see Tim Drake in December and you're going to get a payoff to this storyline. And it's like,
and then at the end, Tim Drake will return in 2022.
Right.
I was
next December?
I know.
We don't know.
I was telling TJ this is what being a Tim Drake stan feels like, though, because this has been the whole time, right? Like, here you go. Here's a little Tim just for seasoning. Okay, you'll never see him again. Goodbye.
I will say that does mean that this is not the last time this group will meet. That we'll have to check in to see how gay Tim Drake is next time.
We gotta make a meter and like have it move up and down.
Yes.
It's a
the
rainbow.
Drakeometer.
It's a rainbow, but right now it's like just down here at just one color.
Yeah. Yeah, we're over in orange.
We're in orange right now. It's,
We need it to be at indigo.
it spiked up to green. It went back down.
And, you know, like we say, it's not a bad issue. I think if you
No.
took it out of context, it would be a very good issue. It's just, it didn't follow through on those promises. And I think everyone was a bit disappointed.
I agree. The one thing it did follow through on is Detective Williams being Tim's queer mentor. And that's all I want to
that's
continue
cool.
to
That was
happen.
good.
I don't
That was weird. Can
It
I
was
just
weird,
say?
but-
It
Oh,
was
that
weird
he's
for.
being mentored by a cop?
Well, all right.
That's
yes.
not surprising.
Okay.
This is
Because
Got me
I
there.
have a problem with superheroes and cops, and
Yeah.
that's a story for another time.
No, it's fair.
Like I don't think they should be interacting. But also just like him showing up and say, "Oh, hi. They didn't get in touch with me. They got in touch with my husband. Have I mentioned I have a husband? I have a husband." It again,
Uh-huh.
it's another one of those things that
Yep.
would have been really great 20 years ago and now feels like,
Mm-hmm.
why should we care? Like, who is this guy? What does he bring that,
Yeah.
you know, it's great that he's a gay police officer, I guess. But like, what is that?
It is weird, especially in a story that explicitly was like, we can't talk to the police, they'll shoot people. I was like, whoa, this story kind of went there and then didn't go there. Weird.
Right. Yeah, that was weird because that was
Yeah.
coming from an actual police detective, yes?
Right? Williams?
Did he say
You need
that?
help? Do you blink if you need us to save you? What do you
Yeah.
do? What's
Maybe
going
he
on,
should
bud?
quit. Should
I feel like you need to get out. Have you seen that movie? Try it.
he needs a new job? Maybe start a private detective agency or something.
Oh my God.
Sure, I'm
Okay.
sure you've
And
loved enough
take
hours.
Renee Montoya with you, please.
Yes. Okay. Please. Now I have another fanfic idea. Just Renee Montoya, Detective Williams, and Tim Drake, queer detectives.
Oh,
That gets it. That gets in the way of my Vic Sage Renee Montoya private detective agency fan.
He can join too.
we're gonna have to
Come on
fight over
in.
that.
Come on in. That you can all be here. It could be one little found family of private detectives.
Can Tim actually kiss Bernard in this
No.
fanfic?
No,
Oh,
next
God
year.
damn it.
Next year.
I'm gonna give him just specifically.
Next year.
He's gonna get Rogue's powers. He can't kiss anyone ever from now on.
Yeah,
But he
next
can
year,
express
maybe.
that he wants to kiss someone,
Yes.
which is progress.
He's just like Bernard. If I kiss you, you'll die.
Yeah. Or Bernard, I think I want to kiss you.
And if I do, you will die.
Do you like the idea of Tim Drake leaving the Bat family and becoming the sidekick to the question?
I think
Maybe
it's
being like the
cool.
question and the answer,
There
and having a
was
detective
Oh,
there
that's
was
cute.
team
once
up.
an idea before Infinite Crisis, I believe, where they were playing with the idea that Tim would become Blue Beetle's sidekick and start fighting crime with Ted Cord. But
That is
that
wrong.
never happened.
That
That,
is,
does,
I hate
that doesn't
that
work.
so
Yeah.
much. No.
Yeah.
What? No.
Well, it didn't happen. You don't have to worry about it.
I didn't know I had to worry about it. Now I am.
Do you guys think this storyline is building up to him getting a new superhero identity?
Yes, absolutely. They say
Drake
it explicitly in the
2.0.
story.
I mean, I thought it was last entry, but after this, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
Right. they
Maybe
could
it's just
backpedal.
going to be another issue of him being like, maybe. I
Yeah.
like being Robin, though.
Yes.
I will just keep going. And like,
Damien's gonna have
eventually.
to come back and kick him out of Robin again,
Right.
isn't he? They're gonna literally have to fight.
His next superhero identity is the Hedge. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was the sound of my face palming
Thank you
directly
very
into the
much.
mic.
Thank you very much.
I did want to point out, and when we interviewed Megan, soon after the third issue came out, with, oh, maybe I am, she said DC wasn't responsible for any of the holding back, that it was her storytelling decisions. Right.
All right.
And I think if we're taking that as the 100% truth, which I don't know if I completely believe that DC didn't have any comments, and that's nothing on her, she's doing her best job. But if we're taking her 100% at her word and it's all her and her slow burn decisions, I don't know if this was the best way to present it.
If this is what she thinks a slow burn is, she's never read or written a fanfic, and that's all we can say.
This does not seem like a person who hasn't written a fanfic.
Then it isn't a slow burn. I don't know what to tell you. This is not how you do it. There's got to be tension. Not a very casual phone call like they've been married for 50 years.
Yeah.
I will say, as someone who has written queer characters for DC Comics, I have not gotten any pushback.
That's news to me.
Right? Yeah, I know.
Why have you never mentioned it before?
Right? You can pre-order Galaxy, the Prettiest Star.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which comes out this May from DC Comics, the publisher we're talking about. But they've been really cool with showing queerness and dealing with trans themes and queer themes and not shying away from that stuff. So I'm willing to, if she says they haven't given her any pressure to back off, I believe that. Then again, I'm also not writing Robin, so...
Yeah, I wonder if that has to do with the amount of, historical baggage the character has.
I mean, maybe. I think if she says they're not pressuring her, then I believe it, because I haven't experienced it either, and I will just put that anecdotally in there.
I'm I could believe her. After this issue, though, is what makes me go, really, though? Did they really? But... I'm really glad to hear you had such a positive experience, Jadzia. And everyone, you can go pre-order Galaxy, the Prettiest Star right now.
I am honestly really excited for this book. I read the solicit, and I did not know that this was going to be a secret sci-fi adaptation of my favorite unintentional queer novel from my childhood, L. Frank Baum's The Marvelous Land of Oz, the sequel to The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, where Pip finds out he was a secret princess the whole time.
I will say that there's a little bit of that. It's not a complete retelling, so
okay.
Cool. I don't want you to be horribly disappointed.
I'm excited either way. Secret princess undercover as a boy who keeps questioning his own identity. I'm in.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's definitely what it's about.
Yeah,
and we have to mention the cover again. It's a beautiful cover.
So beautiful.
Yeah, Jess Taylor's art is amazing in this book.
Does all the interior art look like that?
All the interior art looks like that.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yes. I wish I could show you guys the interior art because it is stunning. There's stuff that they do with panel transitions and color that just absolutely blew my mind and was better than I even imagined writing the script. So
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's a really great book. But yeah, the stuff that DC pushed back against me for was all plot things, not queer things.
All right.
So
that's good.
Speaking of other queer stories.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
There's a JLQ.
Yeah.
Here we are.
All right. Who has strong feelings?
Do people have strong feelings about
I don't know, because I don't.
It's just pleasant.
Ice Maiden fans rise up.
Oh yeah, it's nice that Ice is there.
And
I like her.
The original Ice. Yes.
Is this not the one from Justice League Unlimited?
No, very not famously. There were two Ices. There was the Ice Maiden, who was Fire's partner during the whole Global Guardians era, pre-Justice League International.
So this isn't the JLI one.
No, not the JLI.
Well, now I'm less excited.
Well, that's the whole point of this story was, hey, there was this whole Ice everybody forgot about, and it's about a character who, JLQ is about identities that are kind of shadowed and papered over coming out into the spotlight. And I think what the writer was trying to do here was parallel that with this forgotten ice-themed character who's been overshadowed by this much more popular successor. Like, hey, I'm still here too, and I can claim my own identity.
Can I tell you that as someone who is not familiar with Ice Maiden but loves Ice and the JLI, I totally thought it was Ice, and everything she says lines up. And I was like, finally!
No.
Oh, they're embracing the queer subtext of Fire and Ice's relationship.
Ice Maiden and Ice both had queer subtext with
I
Fire.
know,
Ice Maiden is basically Sigrid Nansen was Fire's first secret girlfriend before she met Tora Olaf's daughter.
I mean, it explains why her hair's not white, but like, I really thought it was Ice the whole time. So shows what I know.
I had no idea who anyone was in this.
No.
I mean, I care about Aqua.
I was gonna say you knew Aqualad.
But besides him, I know.
You know Gregario. He was.
You don't know Crush?
I don't care about them though.
Wait, you know Bunker though, right? He was in Teen Titans with Tim Drake.
That brings up a good point.
I haven't read that one.
Fix that.
It is a little sad. In JLQ that here we have this meeting of queer heroes, and it's like, who are these people?
Yeah, that's so real.
And it feel like I know who they are. I got one of them wrong, obviously, but like I knew who they are, but they're not, with the exception of Crush, like headliners.
Yeah.
And that's really
what,
and Aqualad,
Shredder from Gail Simone's The Movement isn't the headliner.
Aqualad is like the biggest.
Yeah, but he also wasn't allowed to do much. So
yeah, he did nothing.
He was
Which
like,
is weird because they were fighting ice monsters, and it's like if there was ever a time for a water hero to rise up, it would be with ice monsters.
But no.
Like I'm here for like if the intention was, I want to take a bunch of quote unknown queer heroes and give them a really good story and bring them together and make people love them. Like I'm here for that, but this just kind of felt like, well, this is who was available. And like, and on Twitter, when the JLQ was like trending and all sorts of stuff, people were making their fan lists of
To be fair, that is the way Justice League International started. It was Keith Giffen going, well, let's see which characters I am allowed to use. And that turned out to be one of the most beloved runs of Justice League.
If we ever get a JLQ that's a story and not just like a special issue, that would be great.
Like a parade, yes.
Yeah, but we haven't got, like the two we've talked about so far, cool though they were, are not stories. They're just like, hey, I know that person. Hey, I don't know that person. Guess I gotta Google. Like that was all they are.
And Giffen's JLI still had Batman.
But he had to fight for that. He had to fight really hard for Batman.
I'm just saying, like, no one would have turned up their nose at Tim Drake strolling on in.
Right.
Or John Kent.
John Kent.
Where the fuck is John?
Why can't John Kent be the leader of the JLQ? He's Superman.
Also, what's wild is how young everybody is.
Yeah.
No.
Like, we don't have older queer heroes. It's like Gregorio, who's like the daddy for all intents and purposes in every frame of that word. And everyone else is teenagers. And that's odd.
Like, where are the ones that were in the other issue? Where the hell are all the rest of them?
Yeah,
there was like so many
Batwoman?
more. I know. And the ones from Suicide Squad. Like, where are all those characters that were in the last issue?
Come on, like.
Who are the two people at the end that were dressed up?
I will say that I do wish John.
That was Obsidian and Green Lantern.
Yes.
Or I guess not Green Lantern. Sentinel.
You know, Alan Scott.
Scott,
And I love that they were the only ones who showed up in costume. Like someone told them it was a costume party or something. And like, oh, okay.
I love that.
I will say
that was my favorite part.
I will say I have no problem with John Constantine being less involved with the greater DC universe, and all his best stuff is kind of solo.
Okay. I was like, get back around to not insulting John or I will fight
No, I
you.
love John. It's just he doesn't feel like he belongs with the rest of the superheroes.
It's just weird there's no big names. Like there's no Batwoman, there's no Superman.
Right.
There's no Robin. Like it felt very weird.
Mm-hmm.
And like they didn't even have to do nothing, really. I mean, like Batwoman could just be there.
Yeah, this very much felt like when a book club is dying and only like the last 5 people still show up and you're like, okay, I guess we'll talk about the book still.
If it was explicitly about let's get some queer teens together, right? Like if that's what it was about, it was
just
they
could have
done
youth center.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Here's my benchmark. In the first JLQ story, Tremor, the only asexual character in the DC universe, was there but had 0 lines. Here, Tremor, the only asexual character in the DC universe, still is there and has 1 line. So we are
5 years
trending in a
now.
positive direction.
Next time you'll get 2.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And maybe the lines will not be about how weird it is that they're there.
I can't believe I was included.
I
The
do like that
asexual
Gregorio
Yeah.
dressing more flamboyantly.
Just put that in Latin over the asexual flag. Wow, I can't
I
believe
was
you
included.
included me.
And will I keep buying these issues if they come out
Yeah.
with these characters that I don't really care about?
Yes.
But
Absolutely.
please give me characters I care about or
Well,
make
it
me
would-
care about them.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
it would be nice to have something like it's fun to watch them do a superhero thing, and I understand the desire to you only have so many pages and like let's have them. These are superheroes. Let's not just have them sit around and talk. Let's have them do a superhero thing.
Sure.
But also, it would have been nice to kind of bring these characters together for a reason other than they all happen to be gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And it got really preachy in the last like 5 panels. So I guess in that way it was a queer narrative. Otherwise it wasn't a queer narrative until they were like, hey, we all have identity. We can understand identity. And I was like, okay, that's
Yeah.
stupid, but sure.
It would have been way cuter if it was like, oh, something went wrong. Let me call up all my bros who happen to be queer,
Yeah.
because like that tracks. We
Yeah,
have
we
queer
do.
friend groups.
We travel in packs. No, let's be honest. The real queer issue was the one right before with Captain Cold and the Flash running about like obsessed with each other for an entire issue.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a sad commentary right there when the
But it's-
subtext-filled story is gayer than the one with the actual gay character.
I know, but it's true. And it continues to be the case.
I mean, last time this happened, Tim Drake ended up kind of coming out. So
We'll see what happens.
Hey, Captain Cold. We know. Just say it. I'm just saying in the Flashverse, he's gay in an alternate universe. That means you're gay in real life. Just saying.
Okay.
that's fair.
Don't think that's true, but I like it. Like, I wish that was
I don't
true.
think AUs make you gay. That's what I'm
All
saying.
right.
I think
in-
it just brought the subtext out. Anyway, go ahead, Alex.
In future gay news, Nicole Maines is working on that Dreamer graphic novel. That'll come out
Woo!
next year at some point, I imagine. Jadzia will probably end up on a panel with her somewhere. That'll be fun to watch.
That'd be fun.
That's my prediction.
I'm here for it.
Eiko Hasegawa, Catwoman's old girlfriend, is showing up in the next Catwoman run. So that'll be interesting to see if they go back to that, revisit that whole idea.
It's Teenie Howard writing it, right?
Yeah, Teenie Howard's writing.
So like I could see them going
Yeah.
there.
All right, money down now. Which DC character's coming out queer next? We got John since the last time we talked. So who's
We
next?
did get John.
Who's next? Who
Who's
we gonna
next? Who's
get?
next?
They're gonna be unconnected because they will never let us
Okay,
have 2 of
okay.
the same stories.
I'm gonna give my answer, and it's also a question.
Yeah.
So this is coming out after our TimCon discussion,
Mhm.
which at the time when we recorded, we had no idea John Kent was coming out.
Yeah.
Now, okay, my answer is Connor Kent will be next because
you
no one
wish.
gives a fuck about Bernard, and that can only last for so
Yeah,
long.
Bernard's a real
Oh.
starter boyfriend.
Do you
Poor
think we
guy.
can have both Superboys be queer? Do you think we can have both John and Con be queer?
Not
Well,
on your life.
As I said in my first episode of this show, why not feast?
I believe that we could, but man, I don't believe in hope anymore. It's dead. So. Who does nobody care about? That's who's coming out next.
Who does nobody care about?
I bet it's gonna be Oliver Queen.
Oliver Queen.
We're gonna find out that Oliver Queen has been bisexual this whole time, has had loads of slutty boyfriends, and it's something he refers back to but doesn't act on. And we can do that now the show's over.
Oh my God! Don't make me have to care about Oliver
can see
Queen.
it.
Right? Like it's
No.
there.
I'm gonna say Connor Hawke. Oliver Queen's son.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see it.
Yes, because we do second generation gays. That's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do here.
Him and Damien have some tension in
Look-
that Robin title.
That's
A little
true.
bit.
There was a lot of
for
subtext
Damien,
with
but,
Connor Hawke,
a little
not
too old.
long after his introduction, so I can see it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
But I think it'd be better if it was Oliver Queen.
It would be really funny if he was just like, I experimented in high school and that's all we ever get on that.
No, not even experimented. Like it's like, oh yeah, no, I have had sex with a lot of people of all kinds of genders.
Or like he has this romance with Earth 11 Black Canary. That would be fun.
If you're gay in an AU, you're gay. I'm sorry.
There you go.
All right, so our contenders are Oliver Queen, Connor Hawke, And Connor
Connor
Kent.
Kent.
Yeah.
One of the
Do we have a
Connors.
fourth one? Chris, did you say one?
Chris did not say one.
No, I was being very pessimistic. I mean, I still think we're gonna get Damien one day, but it's not gonna be next. It's gonna be a long time from now.
Yeah, he's like 11.
But he's like, I don't know. He aged up spontaneously when John did.
Yeah, he's canonically.
He ages up
but
and
he's-
ages down all the time.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I never know how
Could
old
be-
that kid's supposed to
He's
be.
gaining on Tim.
Yes. One day they're
Yeah.
gonna be like the same age, confusingly.
That was Dan DiDio's joke. He would always say that one day Nightwing is eventually going to be older than Batman.
I think it checks out. They were only 10 years apart the last time they
Right.
canonically said their ages, which is
Yeah.
insane.
It is.
because
Never
apparently
trust
he
the
was-
comic book character when they tell you their age.
Because
Never.
apparently he was 18 when he adopted Robin. What the fuck?
What, for real?
They literally said their ages, and it was only 10 years apart in an issue. Not
So your
long
guess
ago.
is Damien? We're putting down Damien as your official.
I don't think he's going to be next, is the thing. I think
No.
it's going to be eventually.
You know, it'd be great. Amanda Waller.
Amanda Waller would be
Oh.
amazing. I want it to be revealed she's married to a woman.
Yeah, yeah, like this
Amanda
whole time.
Waller's
please.
backstory of like she has a husband in her life and a bunch of kids who don't.
She
speak.
just told you that.
Right, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
she wouldn't tell you the
important
truth.
Character from the Ostrander and Yale series.
I
Or-
think
no,
no.
that was like 2 retcons ago, though.
Yeah, no
Ah,
way.
But that's the best one.
No,
She's
gonna
playing
be
the
like,
long game.
I was gonna say
Stop
one of these
living in the
times,
past, Alex.
somebody's gonna be like, your husband, and she's like, I said spouse. I never said husband.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, okay. The important part is the kids who are disappointed in her.
Yes,
sure.
yes.
No,
they
that's
can
safe.
still
Yeah.
be disappointed
Okay.
in her.
That's fine.
You-
She can be a disappointing lesbian. I'm fine.
Lesbians could be anything that they want, even a disappointment, Alex.
Yeah, there you go. Oh,
All
God.
right, everyone. Well, until Tom
Yeah, we
Taylor
gotta go.
makes someone else queer, JLQ Disassembled, thank you for joining us for this slightly special occasion.
Can I just say one thing before we go?
Yeah.
Is it about Galaxy the Prettiest Star?
I could be.
Alright.
Pre-order is
please.
available now.
Yeah, you guys can pre-order it. It's available. Just Taylor does the art. It's amazing. But one thing I think both of these stories kind of tie together is there is a discomfort with queer affection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I don't know where that's coming from because I know both writers are coming at these stories with the utmost sincerity and the utmost love. And I can only think that it's not from them or even from DC, but maybe from the culture at large. It's very strange to look at these two stories, which are very different, and yet have that same problem of like, how do we show queer joy in a way that still works as a superhero story, which doesn't seem like it should be hard since there's nothing gayer than superheroes,
Right.
except maybe Cirque du Soleil, which is essentially a superhero
Or professional
story.
wrestling.
Professional wrestling. Good point.
Right.
Also superhero.
I
though,
mean,
let's
we're
be
all
honest.
talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Like Cirque du Soleil, superheroes, professional wrestling, all gay as heck. And so it is strange to me. Again, this year starts with a 2.
Yeah.
We're
Still.
still kind of like looking at queer, not just queer presence. Like we seem to have gotten queer presence down. Thankfully, we finally figured out how to make queer people just show up in stories.
Right.
But it does seem weird that queer joy is so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
All of
In
this
my
is to
life.
say there's plenty of queer joy in Galaxy the Prettiest Star now available
Hey!
for pre-order.
We gotta play a drinking game.
All right. And I'm gonna say, for my last point, I am officially off the train that Batman is Ace, and I am on the train that Batman is autistic.
It can be both.
It can,
It can be both. It can be both,
He can
but
be both things.
I'm picking my hills to die on.
No, I think he should be both. And also, we
right.
now know he's fully a boomer, so that's fun.
That's true.
Not the age.
Yes, it is. Yeah, apparently because he's only 24. No. Well, I guess if he is only 10 years older than Nightwing, he's Gen X. Anyway, older millennial? Wait. Oh, well, we'll not think it through
Silent generation.
somehow.
He's
somehow.
really rich, so a lot of the rules don't apply.
That's
Exactly.
right. His generation is wealth.
Right. There you go.
So where can our listeners find you two?
Find me at dccomics.com, where we just published an interview I did with Jock for Batman One Dark Knight. I've been getting a lot of cool interview work lately. Maybe I'll talk to you, Jadzia, when Galaxy comes out. That would be really nice.
I would love to be interviewed by you.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I host trivia at the DC community, which you could access every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, where we have a lot of fun. This week we're doing holiday trivia. Next week we're doing a look back on like everything DC did this year. It's all gonna be good stuff.
And you can find me on Twitter at Planet X, and Galaxy the Prettiest Star comes out in May, now available for pre-order.
Yeah.
Wonder Women of the World is already out. You can buy it in any store that has comic books, and it's got a story by me in there about Marsha P. Johnson. So yeah, those are ways to read my work and I guess see the weird things I put on the internet.
Oh, I'll add one more thing. If you want to hear me ask some very smart people very stupid questions about video games, listen to the Insert Credit podcast, which has been going since 2012, and we still do every week.
That's when I was born.
Yeah. You're like Damian Wayne. They keep changing the age.
Yes, his age changed every episode.
All right. Well, thank you both for coming on.
Always a pleasure.
It was
Always
so
a
much
delight.
fun. And we'll turn off our rainbow light until next time somebody's gay.
JLQ disassemble.
You can find me, Chris, on Twitter at The Myth of Psyche, where I talk feminism, queerness, psychology, books, and oftentimes Batman. You can also now find me at talkingcomics.com, where I write reviews and a column and sometimes the news about comics. You'd also find my co-host TJ
at TroyFinn2 on Twitter, where I talk about all things book related and, Batman more often than I used to.
And you can find us both on Twitter at Gotham Outsiders, where we talk about Batman all the time. Join us next time. Same bat time, same bat place.